Hello, I'm Kelly, Animal Instinct here on Flosstube. I'm here for my 7th stitchy update. Today is Sunday, January the 26th, 2020. Thanks for coming along. If you're new, welcome. I hope you enjoy. And if you're coming back again, thank you so much. I'm still getting a bit of a thrill that people want to watch my videos. Now last stitchy update, I did ask how people found me because I wasn't quite sure how it was happening, and I got lots of responses, so thank you for those of you who took the time out to let me know. It seemed to be a bit of a combination of searching on YouTube for whip parades. A few people saw me on Instagram, and there are a few shout outs that I actually wasn't aware of. So I'm just going to take the opportunity now to thank Jackie from Cross My Stitches, Nicole from Divinely Design Studios, or DD's Flosstube, and also Joe Gregory. I hope I've pronounced your surname correctly, Joe. But thank you to all of you for mentioning me. Yes, thanks so much. I'll pop their channel in the description box below if you're interested in checking them out. Really appreciate it. So last week I filmed my first stitch with me, and I answered Christine's tag. So Christine from Stitch All the Things. Sorry. I'm a little bit all over the place today, and I apologise in advance. Christine from Stitch All the Things came up with a tag with some interesting questions, and I decided to have a go at a stitch with me. Once I got the camera set up and got used to stitching, because the phone had to be sort of between my face and the stitching, and I had to sit awkwardly to be able to see the stitches. And once I got that organised, it was actually quite fun. Now, I did notice yesterday when I had a look at what I'd uploaded, and I actually got my channel name wrong in the opening credits of that video. I guess it doesn't really matter, but I called the channel Animal Stitches, and that's my Instagram handle. My Flosstube channel is Animal Instinct. It probably doesn't matter, but it just kind of shows I'm a little bit overcommitted right now, and yeah, I've probably got a little bit too much on my plate, but I really enjoy being part of this community, so I want to keep that going. Like I said, I quite enjoyed, once I got the hang of it, quite enjoyed it. I'd happily do another one at some point, time pending. If you've got any questions about me or the way I stitch or anything really, any ideas for topics that I can talk about, let me know, and I'll see if I can incorporate those into a future video. So before I get into my whips, just thought I'd mention I've been trying to stitch every day. Kind of set myself that goal. That's probably my only real goal for the year, and I won't kick myself if I don't meet it. But it's been fun to try and get some stitches in every day. It has been a challenge some days. I've had some very long days. I'm working, and then 3 nights a week I've also been going straight out to the koala centre because they still need care. So there's been really long days, and there's been a couple where it's been a struggle, but it helps me wind down in the evenings. So far I've managed to stitch every day. Now today being Sunday, I don't even know what time it is. Early afternoon, I think. I had planned to do the 24 hours of cross stitch marathon. It was the first time I could commit to it and actually do it while everyone was doing it. But I got home from work on Friday night and I was absolutely exhausted. So I haven't been able to take part, I guess, in the traditional sense. But we've got a public holiday here in Adelaide, or in Australia even. So I'm going to try and get in 24 hours of stitching over the course of the weekend. I think I'm up to 8.5, and it's already Sunday afternoon, so not sure how that's going to go. Maybe I shouldn't be filming this. Oh well, whatever. I don't really care. So I don't have any finishes or FFOs this week. I haven't received the next installment of the Woodland Sow. That seems to be a crowd favourite and definitely one of my favourites. The next one will be coming out on the 2nd of Feb, I think it is. So maybe next video I might have the newest little critter to show you. But I have actually worked on 6 different projects this week. So let's go through them. The first one is the Frosted Pumpkin Stitcheries Into the Jungle Sow from a few years ago. I didn't start it when it actually started and I haven't finished it yet. I'll pop a photo of what it will look like here and then also where I was up to. So I've been taking this one into work each day, or it's just living at work actually. And I've been trying to work on it at lunchtime, just a few stitches here and there. For the most part, I've been able to get a few in, not every day though, but I'll continue to have it at work until it's done. So I'm stitching this on 28 count Lugana in the Fall to Pieces colourway by Colour Cascade Fabrics. And this is where we're up to. So I'm really close. I've got the 2 animal motifs to go, a tapir and I think it's a leopard. And then I need to do the top border. There's no side borders. So the top one is similar to this, but it has the text Into the Jungle. So what I've been able to accomplish at work is, sorry, not there. Here, I've finished off this section. I still need to, it looks like I still need to cross some X's here. And I think there's a 1 line of green all the way across as well to close it out, I think, off the top of my head. I started on the top border and I also started on the tapir because I lost this bobbin, this green. So I'm like, oh, I need something else to do. So I went to the tapir, then I found it, thankfully. So that's my Into the Jungle. Next one is my Firefly by Gecko Rouge. Here's what it will look like if I ever finish it. And also where I was up to last time. Can't remember exactly. I'll put the photo in, but I've actually done 5,700 stitches this month on this project, which is very exciting. And I've also had a page finish. So this is where we are. So the page I finished was this one here, and I've sort of gone into the surrounding pages as well. And then I've also done a lot of stitches in here. I moved it down. It's a bit unwieldy on the Q-snap. I moved it down to start working on his ear and the top of his head. But I'm actually going to pop him away because some other things have been calling to me. But I'm really happy to get that page finished. That's a big achievement for me. Next up is the Stitching Mummy's temperature tree. So you can find the pattern on her Etsy store, Stitchin' Mummy, and she has different temperature charts. This year's is the tree. This is what I'm up to. See through it, there we go. I'm stitching it on 32 count linen that we received at the Mittagong Stitches retreat. I've done about the first 21 or 22 days of January. We've had a really interesting weather here. So each colour is a different temperature. The lowest we had was 17 degrees Celsius, that blue, and then that red there was 42 degrees Celsius. So, and then everywhere in between. This is the one where if I haven't done any stitching at work, but I still want to get some stitches in for the day, I come home and do a leaf or two. It's great. It's just the perfect little size, little tidbit. I don't have to sort of feel like I need to settle in for a big session. And I'm actually stitching it in hand. I've just put it on here just for display purposes. But yeah, really enjoying it. And then also if I feel like I've got if it's not too late and I'm not too tired, I'm starting to fill in the trunk and I'll do the rest of the branches as well. But I love how colourful it is, and I love watching everyone else's come together from all over the world. Everyone's looks so different. There's a Facebook group, I can't remember what it's called, I'm sorry, but it's got Stitch and Mummy in the title. Yeah, you can find it if you search. And it's everyone's sharing their progress. So yeah, that is my sanity saver at the moment. Next up is the Modern Folk Embroideries 2020 Stitch Along. Here's a picture of, I think, what it's going to look like. And the next, the second installment is due out, I think it's the 1st of Feb. And I think I'm going to be behind. I don't think I will have quite caught up, unfortunately. Kind of, it annoys me because I don't like falling behind, but that's just life at the moment for me, so it's okay. I'm not gonna give up. I don't want to get too far behind. And maybe I'll finish it before the next one comes out, who knows. So just a reminder, I'm doing it on 40 count linen. It's antique white linen by Zweigart, and I'm using Silks for You PR023 silk, so that bright red. I've done most of it. I've still got a fairly big motif in here to do. And I think, see how there's those squares with this cross in between. There's a few there that I could do, but they could probably wait as well till the next time. Really enjoying watching everyone's combinations, different fabrics and flosses. I'm pretty happy with my choice of keeping it simple. I don't really have the brain capacity right now to be thinking about lots of colour changes, but the people who are using different colours, oh, it looks so beautiful. So it's really fun to watch everyone's progress on that too. And the next one, Heartstrings Sampleries, the cat sampler. This is what I used in my Stitch With Me video. I wanted something where I didn't really have to think about the stitches too much, like I didn't want to miscount while I was talking. So the red house was perfect. I just filled in some of the red around the door. I'm stitching this, the siren, great. I'm stitching this on 40 count linen, Legacy by Picture This Plus. I'm using the Cold 4 flosses, 1 strand of thread over 2 strands of the fabric. So I don't think I put a photo in of last time. I haven't really done a whole lot, it's not worth it. But I did most of this red during the Stitch With Me and a little bit after. It's Gentle Art Sampler Threads Old Red Paint. So, and there's that hole in the plant. I just ran out of thread. I'll get back to that. So that's coming along really nicely. You can see there's a little cat in the window. I think I need to do French knot on that one. But yeah, slowly but surely. Okay, so the last project I've worked on in the last fortnight, I just pulled out last night for the first time. And it's My Bee by Lorna Lane. and charted by Gecko Rouge. Fun fact, the artist behind Lorna Lane, Libby, has actually just got the cross stitch kit to do her bee as cross stitch. So she's commented a few times over the past year or so that I've been stitching this. She's seen some photos and has really enjoyed it, and so now she's stitching as well. I don't know if she has a cross stitch background. That's going to be really fun, and it must be pretty unique having painted a beautiful painting and then having another company chart it up for you and then you actually stitch it. But this is a really popular kit. So I'm stitching mine on 25 count Lugana, the pre-gridded one that I can never remember the name of. Easy Count, Magic Guide, one of the two. One day I'll remember. And I put in 700 stitches from, I think I started about 7:30 last night and I was stitching till about 1 AM. But here is where I'm up to. So the 700 stitches, see these reds here? I've been focusing on those and also filling in the petals. So I'd already done all the black of the bee, and there's this kind of bit needed to be filled in. So what I've been doing, because I've been using Pattern Keeper, I've just been selecting the lowest symbol that needed to be stitched. So the next one would probably be, I guess, that one. That is actually a stitch. It's like a shiny leg. Looks like I missed one, but I haven't. And then once I've chosen the symbol, I'll stitch any squares that need to be stitched sort of in this area here, I think. I was kind of sticking to that area because it goes a bit beyond there, so I figure I'll sort of do this much and then I'll move it across and I'll do the rest. But then so once that's done, I'll pick the next one that's lowest. So I think that'll be there, and just slowly work my way up until that section's done. So I want to fill in the petals and this bit. There's still some stitches here that need completing, and then I'll just slowly work my way across. Once I finish filming, this is going to go back on the Lowry stand and I'll keep stitching. I've got just over 20,000 stitches to go. The whole project is about 65,000 stitches, and I've done just shy of 45,000. It's taken me a long time, but so on my Firefly cats, I did 5,700 stitches in 9 stitching sessions. One of those sessions only did 78 stitches, so really 8 stitching sessions I did over 5,500. So if I think about it like that, you know, I should be able to get some really good progress if I commit to it and just keep stitching regularly. We'll see. I'd love to finish it. I haven't seen any finishes of this one yet. So yeah, that's another sort of goal. So that's everything that I've worked on in the last fortnight. I'm going to pop a little video in here showing my haul, because I still can't figure out the focusing closely using this camera. So anyway, until I figure that out, here's a little video showing some haul that I had. I'm doing Stitch from Stash this year, so I'm trying not to buy too much, but these were ordered at the end of December, so they don't count. But I got some needle minders from Zane at Ginger Stitch AU, his Etsy store. And I just saw on Laura X Stitch's latest Flosstube video that he's confirmed as a vendor for the Big Stitches retreat in Marupna at the end of May. So it'd be great to meet him and no doubt come home with more of his products. So these are 3 of the ones I got. So I Smell Children, the Sanderson sisters, I've only just watched that movie recently for the first time. It was a lot of fun. I liked the needleminder there. Cat in a teacup, why not? And this great cartoon, This Is Fine. I kind of feel like it reflects my life a little bit at the moment. There's a whole lot of stuff going on around me and I'm just trying to keep composed and sail on through. We'll get there. And then there's a few more. These next two have projects that I'll be putting them onto and you'll see why. Little bee, so the bee will go onto my bee, and the plague doctor. Need to pull the plague doctor out again. Maybe take it to work on, I'm not sure yet. And then finally, this really clever little design. There we go. The blue cookie tin / craft box in miniature. So it's a needle minder, but you can take the lid off and you can actually conceivably hold orts in there if you wanted. Maybe just travel orts because it's only little, teeny tiny. It's about the size of a 20-cent coin, I guess. But it's also got, so the lid has got a magnet in there too, so needles will stick easily to the lid. And I think it helps to keep the lid on as well. But how cute's that? So clever. And that's my haul. So, plans. I'm just trying to interpret my own handwriting here. Tomorrow I'm going to my mum's place. We've signed up for a mystery quilt along. We're using it as a bit of a bonding thing, and she taught me to quilt and has kind of fallen out of quilting, so hoping to get her enthused again because she used to make beautiful quilts. So we've joined this mystery quilt along and we receive one block a month. The first block came out weeks ago now, it feels like. We haven't done it yet. So that's on the plans for tomorrow. I'm going tomorrow morning, come home and stitch hopefully in the afternoon. I received some comments over a few videos really about two things. One is gridding, so what projects I choose to grid and what techniques I use. So I might actually do a video in the future just showing exactly like how I choose what projects I think need gridding and then the techniques I use to grid them, or if I just cheat and use pre-gridded fabric. And the other question was about the back of my projects. So I showed the back of my bee a few videos ago, not to sort of brag about how neat it was, because I don't think it is particularly neat, but I've had some questions about how I do keep my backs fairly neat, and I was thinking about it. I'm not stitching thinking, oh, I need to keep my back neat. When I'm stitching, I'm thinking about the fact that I want the front of the stitching to look nice. And then that will impact on how the back looks, because a big clumpy, messy back probably might impact on how the front looks. It might make it a bit lumpy and things like that. The stitches might sit a bit wonky. So I thought I could also explain like my approach to stitching that results in a fairly tidy back. So I'll do those in the future. And the last thing I just wanted to mention, uni goes back on the 3rd of Feb. So I'm studying a degree online, sort of on top of my regular job. And I've been on holidays all summer and it's been wonderful. Anyway, I do enjoy the study. It just takes away from my stitching time. So I won't make any firm decisions, but I'll probably reduce the frequency of my videos to every 3 or 4 weeks because my stitching time will be depleted. And I probably just won't have much to show in a 2-week period. So we'll see. It doesn't start until the 3rd, and I'll get a bit more of an idea. I do really focus on putting aside some like me time, which is stitchy time, so I don't go completely crazy. But yeah, I just won't have as much stitching to show. I'm also not really buying a lot of stuff, so yeah, there won't be any point, and I won't have time, I don't think, to do fortnightly videos while uni's happening. But we'll just see. So that is the end of my video this week. It's a nice short, sharp and sweet one. Oh, thanks Jemima, that's a beautiful look. I just spotted her in the background there. I thought she was asleep. Hope you all have a great next few weeks, and we'll talk to you next time. See ya.